with all of those faces so elegantly carved on it that everyone wants so badly in 2 weeks. But absolutely, Will Power will be, if he's able to run out these final 3 laps, jubilant at taking home this trophy from Indianapolis and having a shot at the Brickyard Sweep.
Not just him, the team, Chevy, his engineers, the strategist, everybody. They go into those 2 weeks of qualifying and racing in May. It makes such a big difference. And it's always great to win anything at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And he's a master at this.
While we watch him hold his advantage over Graham Rahal, thinking ahead to next weekend, they had an open test day last Sunday on the oval for the cars in the new oval trim aero kits. Speeds were up a little bit from opening day a year ago. A lot of questions. Will we see an increase in speed from last year when we saw the pole get back into the 230s? Is Harry Leyendijk's long-standing record of a single lap at 237 and a 4-lap average of 236 in play? I don't know if that's in play this year, but I think they're going to be faster than they were a year ago when we see the runs for the pole next weekend.
I think you'll easily see a 3 to 4 mile increase in speeds. And the tracks, since I was racing in that period, and the tracks have become a lot safer, the cars have become a lot safer, the drivers' helmets are safer. So I think it's good that they let the cars go faster.
Speeds increase. Yes. Well, I was watching here on Sunday when they were out running, and as a fan, obviously,
4 with 2 laps to go.
Some information from Tin Cindric, who's the strategist, calling it for Will Power. You know, and I was sitting in turn 3 watching the cars go through the turns, and they are fast. Both Honda cars and Chevy cars, the cars seem to work well. Everybody expects a 2 or 3, maybe 4 mile an hour increase, as you mentioned.
What a great performance from Power and Penske today. Qualified on pole, pulled away from everybody, hasn't put a wheel wrong. Very deserving win. All he has to do now, Alan, is just execute for 1 more lap. He almost makes it look easy, doesn't it?
Now, when you say that, I was just about ready to add, isn't the last lap always the hardest? That's when you want to make sure that...
Flag there, 1 more.
Do you back off the pace a little bit to give yourself just a little bit of comfort zone? But when you do that, you know, it changes the rhythm.
He's in a
driving,
rhythm.
Driving the car in your cockpit. So what you do is you go out there and you just do the same thing you did the previous laps and put it all away.
Well, he's given away about 0.4 of a second of his lead to Graham Rahal on that last lap, but it's still 1.8 seconds as he heads through the chicane and down Holman Way towards turn number 7 and a half a lap to go.
You're good on fuel. You can use the overtake or whatever you need.
That's music.
Yeah, still
use the overtake.
6 overtakes still left. He's
he couldn't use 6 overtakes if he wanted to from here to the end. I wonder if he gets any cash back on that.
Rebate card?
What a performance.
I don't think he's all that concerned about the cash back because he's going to get a winner's trophy from Indianapolis here in a few seconds. Masterful drive. Last year's series champion opens his month of May with an incredible performance. After starting on pole, he'll lead 65 of the 82 laps. And here he is off the final corner with an Indianapolis checkered flag in sight. Second Grand Prix of Indianapolis goes to the champ, Will Power.
Good machine today. Awesome. Awesome job, man. You say you want it empty now. Until next time.
Good morning, go. Qualifying to 500. Good job, boys. Awesome job in the pit. Great day.
Man, get us to slot 8 and -1 when you can.
25th career win and first win of this season for Will Power. And if you count all of the other victories that Roger Penske has had in the Indianapolis 500-mile race and add this one in there, the captain's 16th win here at the Speedway in Indycar competition.
Yes, that man just continues to win races at Indy.
Well, Will Power, 3 wins last year on his way to a championship. And he's on the board this year. Remember how much he dominated the season opener at St. Petersburg here on ABC, but had a pit hiccup on his last stop that put him behind Juan Pablo Montoya, and his desperate attempt to pass Juan Pablo cost him a chunk of his front wing, and he had to settle for 2nd place. Well, no such settling today. Dominance, the only way to describe the drive of Will Power, and a huge tip of the cap to Graham Rahal for a tremendous effort to bring his car home in 2nd place. Montoya held off Board A for 3rd, so 2 of the top 3 on the podium will be owned by Roger Penske in this one.
And he managed to dominate Montoya, who everybody thought was going to come into this race and beat everybody. That was...
Yeah, man, I worked for that one. Holy moly.
His month of May started off on the right foot.
Started to say he worked for that one. There's no doubt that as a driver inside the cockpit, with as fast as this track is and as difficult it is to make sure you hit all your marks without going off, superb job, not a wheel wrong, but both physically and mentally draining for a driver.
6 different drivers led the race. Most of those exchanges came during pit stops. Power dominated, leading 65 of the 82 laps. Only the one caution in the race, and that was for the yellow in turn 1 on lap 1. We ran green from the restart at lap 3 all the way to the end. No other incidents requiring a full course yellow.
And that incident did take out 2 drivers that would have had a lot to say in this race, Castroneves and Dixon. But that takes nothing away from Will Power's dominant win today.
So Will becomes the 5th different winner in 5 Verizon IndyCar Series races in 2015. Said that whoever won today was going to have to fight hard to earn it. And certainly that was the case from the first turn down to the last.
A lot of stuff to unhook when you get out of these things.
Looks a little worn out.
He could jump in and do that again.
Will Power doing a balancing act on the front of the car. You did a balancing act for that last stint. Of course, you didn't have to battle car to car, but you had that specter of Graham Rahal right behind you, and you had to hit your fuel number. How hard was that last stint?
Well, that was hard when he told me the number I had to get, and then he said Rahal's closing. He's 8/10 quicker than you right now. Like, man, this is hard. So I just started trying to save in the spots that would not lose time and just push like hell in the other areas. And that's the most physical race I think I've ever done. Like, it never stopped. But I was so determined to win. Like, I just thought, I don't want anything to go wrong. I don't want to get caught out by yellow. I just want a clean race, and that's exactly what we got. So really happy for all the boys on the Verizon car. It's pretty special to win here.
Now, you talked the other day about how there are 4 sessions you want to control. First was qualifying for the Grand Prix. Second was winning the Grand Prix. Next is going to be pole for the 500. And then finally the 500. Does this mean you're halfway there?
I am halfway there. You got it right, man. I'm going for all 4. And I'm very determined. You know, now I've won a championship. The 500 is absolutely on my mind, and that's the one race I want to win.
He's a totally different man. Yes, he's got that championship behind him. He's a road course veteran. He knows what to do there. But now he is focusing completely, after he kisses his wife, on the Indy 500.
The 9th consecutive year Will Power has won a race in the Verizon IndyCar Series. He's done it here in Indianapolis to start his month of May with a victory in the Grand Prix. Qualifying for the 500 next weekend. Back after this.
And if you win, you'll leave as a legend.
Hunter-Reay almost clips the grass.
He did it. What a gutsy move.
3 to go, 3 to go.
What a pass. Castroneves the leader. Ryan Hunter-Reay to the outside of checkered flag. Ryan Hunter-Reay wins the Indianapolis 500. It was spectacular. And we can't wait for the 99th running of the great 500-mile race that comes up 2 weeks from tomorrow here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Month of May activities starting today with the Grand Prix. Will Power won. Graham Rahal with a second consecutive runner-up finish, and what a drive for him, Jan.
It was an incredible drive, Alan, and of course there was huge celebration. In fact, it's a bit of a win in a way. I think you used the words to me in practice of being demoralized. This was an incredible turnaround. How did you gain that much pace in the race?
Well, I think, it's this team, and, I think my racecraft helps a little bit, but, really I got to give it to my guys because the pit stops were good. We were able to make some moves when we had to. Certainly we weren't the quickest today, or if we were, it wasn't by, the fact that, I think it was a clear track and everything. We were able to just push really hard, but the Steak and Shake team, I'm so proud of these guys. I mean, to be the lead Honda again, it feels good, but, we want to win these things, and trying to chase, I was giving absolutely everything, same as Barber, everything I had to try to catch power, try to get these fans excited, and he was just a little bit too strong.
Well, you got the fans excited. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Doc?
And with Juan Pablo Montoya, and Juan, we had John telling us that you had to save some fuel in that final stint. How difficult was that, given the fact that Bourdais was closing quickly?
But it was hard because I was hanging on with Rahal, and I felt I had, as good a pace of him, or if not better, and all of a sudden, the field number got really big, and so I was like, oh, we need that number. So I started backing down just to make sure I would make it. Mid-Ohio last year, we were pretty much running out of gas in the last lap and really hurt us. So for me, it was more about backing off, and, and then as the stint went on, he started giving me better field numbers so I could push a little harder, and it was fun. I mean, those last 10 laps with Bourdais behind it was really hard. He was pushing really hard, but it makes it exciting, like you're 10-10 every lap, and it's what it's all about, Our Verizon Chevy was really good, and another good result for Team Penske.
Montoya comes home third and expands his points lead, by the way, now up by 5 points over Will Power.
Doc, thanks. So Montoya maintains the championship lead in the Verizon Indycar Series, while Graham Rahal moves from 8th to 5th and gets congratulations from famous Father Bobby. Will Power, Stock mentioned, up to 2nd in the championship. Last year's champ was 5th starting the day. He's the winner at Indianapolis in this one.
The Grand Prix of Indianapolis, brought to you by Chevrolet. find new roads.
Now talked about the movement in the championship standings after the 5th race of 16 in the Verizon Indycar Series season. There's a look at the numbers. Juan Pablo Montoya, Will Power, Helio Castroneves, the top 3. Scott Dixon recovering from the difficult turn 1, lap 1 scuffle to finish 10th today and be 4th in the championship. Sebastian Bourdais finished 4th in the race today. Doc?
Best run of the year thus far for Bourdais. And Sebastian, take us through your day, especially that final stint when you were running down Juan Pablo Montoya.
Well, all day was a good day of track position, you know, and the Circle K Mystic Machine was really good, but you just could not pass anyone, it seemed like today, and on pace, you know. We just needed clean air, and we tried to undershoot, overshoot, we just could never make it work, and, you know, the guys tried hard in the pits, but it was just not meant to be. So, for sure, a little disappointed, because we got up turn 1 on lap 1 after the massacre. They are in 3rd place, and we finished 4th, but I think we found a little something on red tires, so you know it's I guess the only real good thing over the 4th position.
I was going to ask you about that. You guys have been strong all week. What does that do for you and this team now entering the month of May as we lean toward the Indy 500, knowing how strong this team seems to be getting?
Well, I wish I could tell you that whatever we learned on street and road course is going to apply to super speedway, where we'll be the biggest liar in the world. So you know, I'm just going to have to do the same thing on the ovals, just get better and be stronger, and hopefully start at the front and run up front in the 500 and hope for a lucky break.
First top 5 of the year for Sebastian Bourdais, hoping to be able to better that later in the month for the Indy 500. Let's go to Jan Vikas.
And a top 5 finish for Charlie Kimball as well. We've made the comment a few times that he races much better than you call. I know you don't like hearing that, but Sebastian just said it was difficult to overtake, yet you went from 14th to 5th. How'd you do it?
Well, I think a lot of it came down to the car just being that good. You know, a lot of credit to the Team Chevy guys. I think the Aero kits are competitive on the corners and had the horsepower down the straights, but a lot of it happened in pit lane, and that's got to go to the Novo Nordisk Chip Ganassi Racing guys. Good stops, good in and out laps, and they gave me a fuel mileage number, and the car was quick and able to do that number.
What could you have done if you had a better qualifying?
That's always going to be the comment, right? I'd like to keep racing like I am and qualify a lot better for sure. So that's our goal heading into this month. Focus on that a little bit, get a good starting spot for the 500 and go have a race like that one.
Yes, that would be a good place to come, the Indy 500. Thank you.
Thanks.
Alan?
Great run for Charlie Kimball. His first top 5 finish since the 2nd race of the Toronto doubleheader a year ago. And the fans who came out to the Grand Prix today got a chance with their ticket to do what they're calling a track invasion. And you see the gates are open and the fans are coming out for what many may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually walk on the famous Yard of Bricks.
They're actually very civilized. I've seen this done in Monza. When they do it in Monza, you run for cover. They're very calm about it. I think it's great.
Well, they're walking. In just a week or so ago, they have the mini marathon here in Indianapolis, where they use part of the Indianapolis racetrack for the runners to run on. So they're going through here a little faster clip, but they're all headed towards the Yard of Bricks, so they can go up there and take their picture right there and do the very ceremonious Kiss the Bricks.
No place in the world like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Now, in 2 weeks from tomorrow, someone's going to get a chance to bend over and kiss those bricks, and it's going to mean an awful lot.
And they're going to have a big check in their pocket. And they're going to be the Indianapolis 500 champions for 365 days.
Will Power, the winner today, looking towards that 500 race in a couple of weeks.
hat dance is about to begin. At the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the hat dance is about to begin. Did you guys have fun today? Did you have fun today? Yeah, it's always great to be the world famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will Power was just hooked up. Sitting there and he wants to get it 2 weeks from now. Again, he knew the double dip. What a strong car he had today. Here's a beautiful look. Podium, the guys holding up the trophies. Pablo Montoya strong all day long. Ray Hall right here with him. And the walkabout is now on, so if you want to go on the track today.
Check the Twitter feed. I'll bet you that picture will be on there sometime soon. I believe it's at 12 Will Power would be his Twitter handle. And a little champagne spray for celebration of a big win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the podium finishers. Power, Ray Hall, and Montoya today in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Reminder, next Sunday live from Las Vegas, the biggest music party of the year, the Billboard Music Awards. Performances by Mariah Carey, Van Halen, Britney Spears, Iggy Azalea, John Legend, and more. All live next Sunday, May 17th, 8, 7 Central, here on ABC. The captain had 2 of those 3 podium finishers today. Let's hear from Roger Penske, Doc.
Exactly, Alan. No one understands and appreciates more what this racetrack means to everybody in motorsports than this guy, the captain, the 15-time Indy 500 winner. And Roger, first of all, today, 3 cars finishing in the top 6, including the guy you were calling Elio. Your thoughts on your team and how well they performed?
Well, I think it's a credit to the whole team, the guys back at the shop. Obviously, the drivers have just been outstanding, all the season so far. And I guess we've got 9 poles in a row. Well, we got to just get one coming up next weekend. But it's a credit to reliability. Chevy engines were strong. Obviously, you could see that all day. But Will Power had one of his best days. Never missed a beat and was out there front all day long. So it bodes well for us as we move into Memorial Day.
You're talking about Memorial Day. Now, 2 of your 4 drivers have won the Indy 500 and 2 have not. Will Power has not won it, neither has Simon Pagenaud. People are saying, when is Elio going to get that 4th one and join your other great driver, Rick Mears? How do you toe the line and stand on the fence with regard to your 4 guys and who could win it here at the end of the month?
Well, as you know, I run Elio's car on Memorial Day, so I'm rooting for that number 3 car. And last year we were close, led the wrong lap the one before, but it's going to be a great race this year with the new aero kits and the speeds. And we've got 4 guys. We just got to keep them out of each other's hair. I think that's going to be the main thing come race day.
Talk about how strong the Chevy has been. People are saying that Chevy has really done their homework and been impressive. Any thoughts on what kind of speeds we could see for the pole next week? And what about race day at the end of the month?
Well, I think we saw over 231 last year. I think we'll see speeds 232, 233 for pole day. We get a little more power turned up for the race for the pole. So to me, that should be what we'll see. It's going to be just going to be riding around like an airplane upside down here.
Wow, an airplane upside down, 233 miles an hour. The prediction from the man who should know, Roger Penske. Let's go to Jan.
And a man that's hoping that he'll be doing those kind of speeds is Joseph Newgarden. I know you want to try to put today behind you, not the day that you were hoping for. What happened in the first turn?
Well, I don't know. I followed my line, and then next thing I knew, I was backwards, and I saw Scott backwards too. So I'm sure we both got run into or something like that happened. That's what I'm figuring. I just felt a big hit from behind, got turned around, and then then we're just trying to stay on the lead lap after that.
You ran with the leaders, and Graham Rahal, as he was trying to close in, had some comments on the radio and so on. What's your responsibility? You're not a lap down to the whole field, and you have Graham trying to make distance. How do you play that?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the toughest position you can be in as a race car driver. We're sitting, it's early in the year, but we're sitting top 5 in points. We got to get everything we can. All we needed was a yellow to try and get our lap back, hopefully get back in the show. That's what we were trying to do. I'm sure people weren't happy about us doing that, but you know what? That's what the IndyCar drivers wanted. Every time we've gone to the drivers' meeting, they've always wanted us to try and push to be able to get our lap back if we're not a full lap down to the field. So, that's where we set it. That's where we've had the precedent, and right today we were trying to get that lap back, just never fell for us. So that's a shame. We just couldn't get back in the show today. We were just lingering right there, but just kind of in the way.
All right, Joseph, have a great 500 as well.
Thanks very much.
So Joseph Newgarden, a disappointing day here after his big win down at Barber. But looking ahead to a big 500. Practice starts here on the Brickyard on Monday. Back live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as Will Power does the interviews and the hat dance after winning the second Grand Prix of Indianapolis to open the month of May, winning on the Speedway's road course. That's our Indianapolis ABC affiliate conducting the interview there. I would say you'll probably see some of that on their 6 o'clock newscast that comes up shortly, right after we're done with our network coverage of the race.
Dave First, always out at the racetrack, always doing a lot of good stuff for the local community and ABC. Will Power, when you talk about winning, my impressive thing for the day has to be second place Graham-Ray Hall with a Honda.
Will's getting close to that Indy 500 win.
So oval practice starts on Monday at high noon here, and then next weekend we're on the air for coverage of Indy 500 qualifying on ABC and Watch ESPN, culminating with pole day on Sunday. ABC World News or your local news is coming up next. Will Power has opened the month of May with a win in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis.